Oh yes, I received your email. Yes, Monday mornings are better.
Excellent. So yeah, just real quick, Eric Sevick, worked for Printable Settlements. I'm here with Andy Printable, who's the principal owner of the firm.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give you a little background, he's been in the structured settlement business for, what, 20 plus years
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff. And, we've primarily been helping clients in the personal injury space,
Mm-hmm.
but the business is growing and see a lot of opportunities on the non-qualified side of things. And, obviously, you saw our white paper,
Mm-hmm.
focus specifically on that, but, we have a range of solutions across, the non-qualified space, the personal injury space, attorney fee structures, and a host of other ways that, we can help, people on the legal side of the finance business. So just wanted to give you that brief introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you have any, questions or thoughts? Are you working on any cases
Mm,
in the non-qualified space that drew you to this white paper specifically?
Not specifically, no. I just want to know more because sometimes things show up, sometimes it doesn't. But I just want to be aware of everything if something show up for us for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Could you give us a little bit, maybe just a quick rundown? I saw, you're working with the tribal,
Mm-hmm.
link to that website, Trial Tribe, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like it was mainly in the personal injury
Yes,
space.
it is.
Um, yeah, so I mean, is that
Yes.
your primary focus? But do you guys do any non-qualified cases or
Not exactly. We refer a lot of cases out, but it's basically only personal injury.
okay, cool, cool. Um, yeah, so I didn't really have any planned structure for this meeting, but obviously, um, there's the primary thing is just looking at the tax benefits,
Mm-hmm.
the tax advantages of doing these structured settlements. Um, we've done a number of these. Obviously, they're not our primary focus right at the moment, the non-qualified cases, but they've been coming to us sort of through various routes, and we've done some really good cases for people. I have one quick example to share that. Just give me one quick second.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but basically, we had an individual come and they were looking to structure, roughly $450,000.
Mm-hmm.
And, basically, looking at, what they would get, what they would need to pay in taxes right off the bat, with the federal and, you know, state taxes combined,
Mm-hmm.
I just use 40% here as
Yeah,
a number. It depends, what state you're in. Are
Texas.
you in Texas or
Yes,
just
Texas.
yeah? So you guys are lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but elsewhere, like Illinois, you're paying, upwards of 8% for this kind of money, and up to 13% in California. But so you're looking at $180,000 in taxes, and where we can step in and look at that is just structuring that. This particular client that we worked with chose a plan where he was getting a $15,000 quarterly payment
Mm-hmm.
and then a one-time payment at the end of $99,000. So, taking that $450,000, growing it to $579,000 over, that 8 years, getting a great interest rate. Fixed interest rates right now are super good. Especially with certain providers. This one was through Puritan Life, which is a pretty highly rated company. And then these funds are all totally guaranteed. You're not playing with the stock market. You're not putting any of that money at risk. It's all 100%. The numbers that you're getting are what you end up getting paid, and it's fully guaranteed. There's rights of beneficiary. Um, there's all kinds of ways to structure the money. So, you know, it it can be useful for companies. They can use that to pay for um, what's the word I'm looking for?
Overhead.
For companies that can use for their operating costs, which is what I couldn't think of, and things like that. So it could become just a stream of income that is guaranteed and reliable, versus trying to take that initial amount of money, that $450,000 or $270,000 after taxes, and grow it to that sum in the long run. So
Hmm.
really just making something potentially risky into something guaranteed. And there's a number of ways. This is um, a fixed interest rate type of plan, but there's other plans too where you can index it to the S&P 500, and there's different ways to structure the money. Andy can probably speak a little bit more about that. And there's also ways, I believe, with some of these we can do deferrals, right, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, we have a Vanguard fund you could use that's publicly traded. You can look
Hmm.
up that. There's a BlackRock fund. There's some more funds coming in the new year, but there's also pure market-based platforms where the firms or the individual's financial planner can actually manage the deferral. So that's very attractive in the sense that, they keep the money in-house and in a pre-tax way, both in the attorney fee setting and or in the personal, financial setting, like for the client, I mean.
So
So
is there a way for the money in the firm be put in this trust account so it's not taxable for the time that is
correct.
invested?
We
So let's say,
we 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 call it a deferral, and we purposely don't call it a trust account, and that's because we don't want to we want to differentiate between the fact that this is not the firm's client trust account.
hmm.
You cannot do what we
Oh
do
yeah, no, I get it,
through the IOLTA account.
but it's like is the attorney trust account. It's like is the money that's separate for the firm because in the end of the year we are in December. I need to put all the money in my personal account, so it's gonna be taxable for the maximum quota available for the IRS. But is there a way for instead of withdraw this money because I'm obliged to do it to make this investment as a firm instead of withdrawing my social? It's like
So that's more of a deferred compensation
mm-hmm.
plan. What we do has to be done on an individual case basis.
Okay.
So a good example though could be like, let's say, a large case settles and there's five partners that are entitled to a fee.
Mm-hmm.
Each partner could decide whether to do a deferral or not within the scope and four corners of that document of that release, right? So let's say two of those attorneys wanted to take all their proceeds in cash,
Mm-hmm.
and three of the lawyers did want to do a deferral. That's totally possible.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you could do it at the firm level too, like Eric had mentioned, to do, just to keep the lights on for the firm and perhaps defray taxes into future years. So it does have to be on an individual case level, though, or a mass tort, right? If there's a mass tort with a qualified settlement fund,
Mm-hmm.
we can do this out of the qualified settlement fund. But
Okay.
what we can't do is at the end of the year, take a look at the pot of money in a client trust account, or I mean, in the firm's trust account, and then defer from there, because that money has already been constructively received by the firm.
Got it. So it's before. It's like it's a new step before the.
It is. It's an extra step. I do need to we do need to participate in the release
Mm-hmm.
and the payment direction at the time of settlement on either an individual case or on a mass tort.
So there's no generation of the taxable situation for the firm. Got it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's because you can't consciously just look the other way and not pay taxes. If you have
Yeah.
access to the money,
Yeah.
you got to pay taxes on it.
When it's in the account, there's no way to run out. Yeah.
Yeah, and in a structured fee or fee deferral or a client deferral, the four corners of the settlement document are going to
Mm-hmm.
say, "Hey, pay assignment company."
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to say pay client and lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so by signing that document that defers the fees or defers the funds, that's an effective tax deferral.
Okay. So if I have a settlement and in the settlement there is a company and the company receives the money, they're gonna pay me, like you said, in 8 years, divided in quarterly basis. So I'm
Up
gonna
to you guys. Yeah.
I'm gonna pay the taxes over this amount
You
every
pay the
year.
taxes when you get the money.
Oh, okay.
Not, yeah, no, well, it's deferred.
Yeah, you only pay when once you receive the money, and that's why this is,
Mm-hmm.
the money's growing, you're mitigating your taxes, and there so you're benefiting on both sides. And as Eddie was saying, there's a number of ways to do this. You can use fixed interest rates. You can use market indexes. You can have a money manager manage those funds. You could defer. You could elect to defer this with some of these. Some of these companies will allow you to defer the payments for a certain amount of time, or there's a bunch of different qualifications for each different company on what kind of structure that they'll let you put in place. But it's up to you to, or your clients, to build their plan to fit their needs. So yeah, if they want, if they didn't want $15,000 a quarter, you could do $50,000 per year, $10,000 per month. It's
Yeah.
it's really flexible and easy, and um, everything is buttoned up and put in place with these companies.
Yeah, normally we have the situation with kids because I always go to the account and the kids receive when they are 18.
Yep.
So it's usual for this kind of cases.
We do a lot of on tax-free cases, physical injury, we do a lot of minors, right?
Yeah.
And you could even have the kids get all the money at age 18. Some parents do like that, although I think they're trying to steal the kids' money, to be honest.
Yeah.
But most parents want to spread out that child's receipt of the money between, let's say, ages 18 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
And so we usually use regular fixed annuities for that, but the growth is tax-free and guaranteed, and that's what the court likes to see. I have done some variable fee deferrals for minors where, especially, I use the Prudential indexed annuity a lot, where there's a potential for growth, but obviously the floor is protected. So a big part of our business is minors for sure. But again, we need to participate in the release
Mm-hmm.
and settlement.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
would help with court approval. I always help the lawyers get the proper court approval.
Okay, I think I understand now.
And where are you located?
Yeah, Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, nice. Dallas.
Yeah,
Right on.
almost. Dallas. We
It's a big difference,
is
huh?
it this
Between Fort
difference
Worth
here
and Dallas.
for people here? Said don't Dallas my Fort Worth.
Well, we're in Chicago, but we travel everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a case will travel. I have my Texas license.
Mm-hmm.
I've done many cases down there. Um, but it doesn't matter where a plaintiff lives. It doesn't matter where litigation is. We can work it.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's tons of literature on the Printable Settlements website about non-qualified cases, as well as um, all those other things we were talking about. Whether it's tax-free personal injury stuff or attorney fee deferrals. There's a wealth of information there, and we'll be planning to send out some additional stuff on this non-qualified specific, case-related examples and things like that in the near future. So, we'll definitely stay in your inbox.
No, please send to me. I appreciate it.
So we'll appreciate you taking the time to chat with us this morning, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to work together again in the future.
Yes, I would like that. We have some. I think I have a new ad litem to settle this, but I'm not sure if the client signed the release yet. But I'm gonna find out. Maybe we can find
Okay.
something. Okay, sir.
Cool.
Excellent.
All right,
We'll look
thanks.
forward to hearing from you.
Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.